Okay, hi guys. Today I'm going to be filming 2 videos in one day, so if you see me wearing this in another video, like the same exact thing, that would be why. Today I'm going to be filming a video on my BH cosmetic purchases and review. I'm just going to get started on all the products. I'm going to name off the product, what I got, approximately the price. Oh, I do have the price. I'll tell you how much I paid for it. I don't know the actual price of it because my prices are all sales prices. I can tell you approximately how much it's going to be actual price, but I really don't know. Generally everything on their site is always on sale, but yes. I'm going to be doing a review on the products. I'm going to be telling you how I felt about them. Try to remember everything I felt about the product, because some of the products I haven't used in a bit. But yes, so yes, let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna start off with the products I really didn't like and then go to the ones that I fell in love with and have been using forever. But okay, the ones that I absolutely did not like and I don't think I'll ever end up using are the gel eyeliners. These just kind of sucked. So they're still in their boxes even. So I got them in the shades Frost and Fresh. So a white and a aqua kind of teal, I don't know. Yeah, they even still have their little protective so I could keep them fresh. But yeah, so I only did one swipe on that one. I think I did more swipes on the other one. So the reason why I absolutely hated these was gel eyeliner is supposed to be super pigmented. It's just one of those things that you get a lot of pigment from gel eyeliners, and these, you could barely see them on my skin. I'll do a quick swatch of this one. So that's the Fresh right there, and you can just barely see it. And it's almost like it's too creamy because it wants to move around, like just to barely touch it. And it's gonna streak down, and then you can really barely see it. So I was gonna try and use these as eyeshadow primers, but with how much they move around, I'm afraid they're gonna crease, and I just haven't really had the time to mess with them to not go out and then have my eyeshadow crease. But, and then to show you really quick how unpigmented this one is. This one's a little bit better, but I tried putting it over eyeshadow. It's down right here. But I tried putting it over eyeshadow and it just didn't even, it wasn't even visible. So those were a total fail. I was pretty upset about that because I've been looking for a white gel eyeliner for a really long time now. And nobody really sells white gel eyeliners because who wants a white eyeliner, I guess. But let me see. I paid $3.56 for those, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, that's still like $7 for eyeliners that I'm never gonna use, but at least it wasn't like $7 for one that's, I think, the original price. I think $7. It's either $6 or $7 that these are originally, and it's cute packaging. That's what they look like. So it's pretty cute, but those were a total fail. The other colors might be better, but I don't suggest them. The other fail would be the BH Malibu palette. Now, I do, because you open it up like this, and you got eyeshadows. And then you open it up like this, and you got blushes and highlight and bronzer. But, oh, and a mirror. You have a mirror too. But the eyeshadows are just a total fail. I could not get pigment off of these for anything, and they're okay if you want like an eyeshadow that has no pigment, because that is that color right there. And you just get nothing. So when I swatch it on my hand, it looks like that, and it's like they this was really disappointed. I ended up paying $4.50 for this. $4.50 for this one. So it wasn't a big loss, but if you're paying the original price, which I think is $15, that's a pretty big loss. The blushes are really nice in this, but that's about it. The highlight is way too shimmery, if you can see that shimmer in there. And the bronzer is way too light for me. Way too light. It could almost be used as a highlight. It might be a good bronzer for like albino people. Like the people that are white. But it's a cute idea. I like the way that it opens, where it just kind of does a lookbook kind of thing. And then you kind of go and open it like that. But yeah, I didn't like this. That's pretty much all I can say on that one. I didn't like it. So I liked two blushes. One blush was just, I didn't feel it complimented my skin tone, and the other one was okay. I'm not going to keep the whole thing just for one blush, so. Another one that was just kind of meh for me. I ended up paying $9 for this, which was one of the most expensive things that I ended up getting. It was the eye and lip primer. I got it mostly for the lip primer fact, because it mutes down the lip. And it was almost too creamy that as soon as you put a lipstick over it, it mixed into lipstick. So they don't even sell this on BH Cosmetics anymore. I wonder if it's because they got so many bad reviews or it just wasn't working. But they sell an eye primer still, they just don't sell the eye and lip primer. Yeah, it's okay. It works okay if you're nuding out your lips to put a nude color over it. But it doesn't work if you want to put like a super dark color over it, because it's going to mix into that color. These are two things that I'm kind of iffy about. I had so much hype built up in myself about him that I think that's why I'm so disappointed. Those are the Eyes on the 60s palette and the Take Me to Brazil palette. I think it's just because I had so much hype built up that I didn't get what I was expecting. The Take Me to Brazil palette looks like this. So, the colors just aren't nearly as pigmented as I was thinking they were gonna be. The only row in here that's super pigmented would probably be this whole row. And that's really all that's pigmented in here. Everything else is just kind of layer and layer and layer and layer, and maybe you'll get the color that you see. Maybe. And forget about the black. The black comes off looking gray. The white, no, it has so much shimmer in it, but, and it comes off looking more like a yellowy, brownish gray. Yeah, this is just kind of a dud for me. I ended up paying $8.95 for this, so it was just okay. I'll still use it, but I'm not getting the colors out of it that I probably should be. I'm using a white primer and everything, so I don't know why I'm not getting the colors that I see on other YouTube videos. But yeah. And then this one. I'm having the same exact problem. So, the only row, again, out of this one that's super pigmented is this one here. It's the shimmers mostly that you're getting pigment out of. Matte colors are just non-existent. You have to layer them and layer them and layer them and cake on the eyeshadow, and then maybe you'll get what's in the palette. So, yeah, I was pretty disappointed with those. But now onto the things. Well, the blush duo, just because I have so many blushes. This is in the shade Rose. This one's just kind of there. I do like it. I just have so many blushes, I just kind of forget about this thing because I have it in the back because it doesn't fit in my organizer. But yeah, I just forget about it. I like it, but yeah. So, now on to what I wear practically every day. I really like this brow trio. It's in the Flawless Brow Trio in the shade medium. I used to use a pencil before I used this one, and this has pretty much changed my whole brow routine. You can kind of see how I'm still not fantastic at doing my eyebrows, but this has helped a little bit. I hope you're seeing the colors in there. But yeah, so it's 2 powders and a gel, and I do the gel on the tail of my eyebrows, and then the dark powder more towards the middle, and then the light powder more towards the middle. Not the middle, but like the inside here, just so it creates more of a not completely bold, but at least somewhat of a gradient. I have to put the gel on my tail because the tail of my eyebrows like to stick up. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I've stopped using the pencil and just kind of solely moved to this. And yeah. The next thing would be the 88 color palette Tropical Matte Eyeshadow. They're not all matte, I can say that right now. So I don't know what's the difference between the Tropical Matte and the Tropical Shimmer. But and another thing, this one is a pain in the ass to open. I feel like I'm gonna break my finger. I feel like I'm gonna break my fingernails every single time. So one of the eyeshadows did come broken, but I did the thing with the rubbing alcohol to just kind of fix it. And if I can get all the shadows in here. So I really don't know how these are tropical other than they're kind of florally and a little bit oceany, but I wish they had a little bit more brights in here rather than the sand colors, just personally, because they're very muted, toned down colors for it being tropical. You can always check out the palettes. Like, I knew going in what colors I was getting, yeah. I don't know why in my mind all of a sudden it's different when I get it, but yeah, the colors are a better payoff than the other palettes. I don't know why these ones are so different. The 88, the ones that are bigger palettes ironically have better payoff than the ones that are smaller, in my opinion. This one I paid, oh, the Eyes on the 60, really quick, I paid $6.95 for. The 88 color palette I paid $6.95 for. So yeah, like I said, I don't know why you're getting a better value for these ones and they get better payoff, better color payoff. So I don't know why the ones that are smaller palettes you're getting a worse value for, basically. So I just don't really understand it. Oh, you really need to wear a primer with these just because they swatch kind of bad. Like, as I was swatching them without a primer, I was getting kind of nervous because every single color was coming out really, really bad. And then I put on a primer and they're just amazing colors. So if they're looking bad, make sure you have a primer on underneath them, a really good primer. And then my absolute favorite one that I use every single day is my 120 color palette in the 3rd edition. So I use this every single day. I'm really glad that I ended up getting this palette because it just has everything I'll ever need in it. I'm kind of leaning towards getting some of the other palettes just because this one is so good, if that makes sense. But just to show off the colors really quick, here's this is actually the bottom tray, but I have it sitting on top really right now. I did end up breaking this eyeshadow. Well, it came broken, but I fixed it. And that's all of the colors in here. This is a really neutral bottom tray. It still has really nice colors though, like the blues, the purples, the reds, and then blacks, neutrals, whites, all of that. And yeah, silvers. So it's a really nice neutral tray. And then the technically top tray, but the one that I have on the bottom, I can't get it out. Okay, I just popped this out right now, so that's that color. So hopefully it stays in right now and I don't break it. But here is technically the top tray. And it has all your brights and everything, your greens, your blues, your purples. So, yeah. With BH Cosmetics, I'm noticing that you're gonna get more color payoff out of shimmer colors. Your mattes are gonna be a little bit less pigmented, but you can put 2 or 3 layers in, it'll show up just fine. But I really enjoy the larger palettes. The smaller palettes are kinda, I just don't like them. I don't know why. They can't have the same color payoff as the bigger palettes. It doesn't make sense to me. They're eyeshadow within the same company. Why would they be different? So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. For the 120 palette, I paid $11.50 for it. But yeah. That is pretty much my whole review. I would totally recommend the larger palettes, not so much the smaller palettes. I don't recommend the gel eyeliners at all. Those sucked. Eyebrow kits. I bought the medium shade and you can see how dark it's getting my eyebrows. So if you're blonde, I don't actually recommend their eyebrow kits just because they run dark. Dark-haired people, I recommend the medium shade just because unless you want your eyebrows full on black, then get the dark shade, but the dark shade is black. The eyeshadows in total blend very nicely, especially the larger palettes. The smaller palettes are obviously going to blend pretty well because there is no color payoff, but yeah, I've really had no trouble with the larger palettes, except for the matte shades don't have as much pigmentation as the shimmery shades. And yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. If you have any questions about any of BH Cosmetic stuff, these are all the things that I own. I don't own anything else by BH Cosmetics. Don't typically like shopping online, and that's why I don't own anything else by them. This was on one order, so yes. Yeah, if you have any questions, don't feel bothered to ask me. Yeah, so please like, subscribe, comment down below, all of that. And I'm gonna sign off now because I really don't know what else to say, so see you later.